Have you ever noticed that after talking to a certain person, you feel drained, sad, or even irritated? If so, you may be dealing with a toxic friendship and not even realize it. In this video, I will reveal the 7 clearest signs that a friendship is doing you harm. And believe me, recognizing these signs can be the key to transforming your emotional life. Many people spend years carrying the weight of relationships that drain their energy, without realizing that the problem is not with them, but with the dynamics of the friendship. You will learn how to identify behaviors that seem normal but are actually harmful. And most importantly, you will understand what to do when you realize that you are in such a situation. If you continue to ignore these signs, you could end up losing your self-esteem, your peace of mind, and even other healthy friendships. But if you pay attention to what I'm going to share today, you'll be able to protect your emotional well-being and build much more balanced relationships. Stay with me until the end, because the last sign is the most important of all and can completely change your perspective on this friendship. Sign 1. The person only shows up when they need something. This is one of the most obvious signs, but one that we often ignore out of affection or hope. When someone only contacts us when they are in trouble, it shows that they do not value our presence, only our usefulness. It is that friendship that disappears for months and then appears asking for a favor, a loan, or wanting to vent about their problems. The problem this solves is our tendency to romanticize one-sided relationships. When we recognize this pattern, we stop wasting emotional energy on those who don't reciprocate our emotional investment. It's important to understand that true friendship is a two-way street where both parties are genuinely interested in each other. In practice, observe how this person interacts with you. Do they only call or text you when they are going through difficulties? When you try to share your joys or achievements, do they quickly change the subject? A real-life example would be that friend who only contacts you when she is having problems in her relationship, but when you want to tell her about a promotion at work, she barely listens and quickly goes back to talking about herself. The benefits of recognizing this behavior are immense for your mental health. You stop creating unrealistic expectations about the person. You stop feeling used, and you can direct your energy towards more balanced relationships. In addition, you develop a sharper perception of people's intentions, which protects you from future disappointments. When you understand that you are not obligated to always be available to those who only value you for their convenience, your self-esteem grows and you start to attract people who truly care about you. Sign 2. Your achievements bother the person. A healthy friendship celebrates your victories as if they were their own, but an unhealthy friendship does the exact opposite. When you achieve something important and someone reacts with coldness, skepticism, or even criticism, that's a huge red flag. They may belittle your accomplishments, find fault with what you've achieved, or simply change the subject when you try to share your happiness. The problem that identifying this solves is the emotional confusion we feel when someone close to us doesn't feel the same way. We often end up doubting ourselves or thinking that we are being arrogant when celebrating our victories. Recognizing that the problem lies in the other person's envy frees us from this unnecessary guilt. In practice, watch how people react when you share good news. Someone who is genuinely happy for you will ask questions, show interest, and may even want to celebrate with you. A jealous person, on the other hand, will react with comments like, "Lucky you," "It must have been easy for you," or "I don't know if this is going to work out." For example, if you get a new job and someone responds, "I hope you don't regret it," that's a clear sign that they're not rooting for your success. The benefits of recognizing this pattern are transformative for your self-confidence. You stop seeking validation from those who can't support you and start valuing your achievements regardless of how others react. This strengthens your self-esteem and helps you seek out people who truly support you. In addition, you develop the ability to better filter who you share your joys with, protecting your moments of happiness from negative energies that can diminish your motivation. Sign 3. the person constantly criticizes you. Constructive criticism is a part of any healthy relationship, but when someone always finds something negative to say about you, it's no longer helpful. It's emotional sabotage. This person may disguise their criticism as sincerity or concern, but they're actually systematically undermining your self-confidence. They may criticize your appearance, your choices, your dreams, or even your personality. The problem that recognizing this solves is the gradual destruction of our self-esteem. When we constantly receive negative feedback from people close to us, we begin to internalize that criticism and doubt ourselves. Identifying this pattern helps us separate genuinely helpful criticism from disguised attacks on our self-confidence. In practice, pay attention to the tone and frequency of this person's observations about you. Constructive criticism is accompanied by suggestions and is made with kindness at appropriate times. Destructive criticism, on the other hand, is constant, unnecessary, and often made in public. For example, if every time you meet the person makes a negative comment about your clothes, your hair, or your decisions, even when you haven't asked for their opinion, this is a clear sign of toxicity. The benefits of identifying this behavior include regaining your self-confidence and protecting your mental health. You start to question whether you really need constant feedback from someone who rarely has anything positive to say. This helps you develop a stronger inner voice and seek feedback from people who genuinely support you. Plus, you learn to set healthy boundaries, not allowing anyone to use the excuse of honesty to hurt you repeatedly. Now, before we continue with the next signs, I need to ask you something very important. If this content is making sense to you and helping you see your friendships more clearly, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any content about healthy relationships. And tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I want to know where the people who care about their own emotional well-being are. Sign 4. You feel drained after talking to her. This is one of the most telling signs of a toxic friendship. Healthy relationships should energize us and make us feel good. But when we leave a conversation feeling drained, tired, or emotionally weighed down, something is wrong. This feeling of exhaustion may come from the fact that the person always turns the two of you into a free therapy session, where they talk endlessly about their problems without ever asking how you are. The problem that recognizing this solves is our tendency to normalize relationships that drain us. Many people think it's normal to feel drained after certain conversations, but it actually indicates an emotional imbalance in the relationship. When we recognize this pattern, we can begin to protect our energy and seek more balanced interactions. In practice, observe how you feel before, during, and after interacting with this person. A healthy conversation should include moments of mutual listening, laughter, sharing experiences, and bilateral support. If you notice that you are always the one listening, giving advice, and offering support, without receiving the same in return, this explains the fatigue. For example, if after each phone call with this person you need some time to recover, or if you avoid answering their calls because you know you will leave exhausted, these are clear signs. The benefits of recognizing this burnout include preserving your emotional energy and improving your quality of life. You start to value more the people who make you feel good and energized after talking to them. This helps you set clearer boundaries about how much time and energy you are willing to invest in each relationship. Plus, you develop a greater awareness of the impact that different people have on your emotional state, which is essential for maintaining your mental health. Sign 5. The person doesn't respect your boundaries. Healthy boundaries are essential in any relationship, but some people insist on crossing them repeatedly. They may show up at your house unannounced, call at inappropriate times, insist on topics you've already said you don't want to discuss, or pressure you into doing things you're not comfortable with. When you try to set boundaries, they may react with drama, emotional blackmail, or simply ignore what you've said altogether. The problem that recognizing this solves is the gradual erosion of our sense of autonomy and self-respect. When we allow someone to consistently disrespect our boundaries, we begin to lose track of what is acceptable and what is not. Recognizing this behavior helps us reaffirm our importance and our right to set rules for our own lives. In practice, observe how this person reacts when you say no or set a rule. A person who respects you may be disappointed, but will accept your decision. A toxic person, on the other hand, will insist, create drama, or try to convince you that you are wrong. For example, if you said you don't want to lend money and they keep insisting every week, or if you ask them not to call after 10 p.m. and they keep calling saying it's urgent for any nonsense, these are clear signs that they are disrespecting your boundaries. The benefits of recognizing this pattern are essential for your self-esteem and well-being. You begin to understand that you have the right to set rules for your own life and that people who truly love you will respect them. This strengthens your ability to position yourself in other relationships and life situations. In addition, you develop more clarity about what behaviors are acceptable, which helps you build healthier and more respectful relationships in the future. Sign 6. She talks bad about you behind your back. Finding out that someone you trust is talking badly about you behind your back is one of the most painful experiences in a friendship. This person may seem completely different to you, but when you're not around, they share your secrets, criticize your choices, or twist your words to others. We often find out about this through other people who tell us what was said, creating a deep sense of betrayal. The problem that recognizing this solves is our tendency to blindly trust those close to us. When we recognize this behavior, we stop sharing personal information with those who do not deserve our trust and protect ourselves from future betrayals. It is essential to understand that a person who speaks badly of you to others also speaks badly of others to you. In practice, notice if this person has a habit of gossiping about other people when they are with you. If they tell secrets and criticize absent friends, it is likely that they will do the same with you when you are not around. Also pay attention if other people start to know intimate things about you that you only told them. For example, if you confided in someone about a personal problem and later found out that several people in your family or work already knew about it, this indicates that they have broken your trust. The benefits of identifying this behavior include protecting your privacy and preserving your reputation. You learn to be more selective about what you share and who you share it with, developing a keener sense of who you can truly trust. This helps you build relationships based on loyalty and mutual respect. Plus, you stop fostering fake relationships and start investing in people who have your back even when you're not there, which is one of the hallmarks of a true friendship. Sign 7. You feel like you have to pretend to be someone else in her presence. This is perhaps the most subtle sign, but also one of the most important. When a friendship is healthy, you should feel comfortable being yourself with all your strengths and weaknesses. But if you find yourself changing your behavior, hiding parts of your personality, or pretending to agree with things you don't believe in when you're with this person, it's a sign that the relationship isn't genuine. The problem this solves is the gradual loss of our authentic identity. When we constantly adapt our personality to please someone else, we begin to lose touch with who we really are. Recognizing this pattern helps us value relationships where we can be genuine and question those that require us to be a false version of ourselves. In practice, notice whether you feel relaxed and natural around this person, or whether you constantly worry about how you'll come across. A healthy friendship allows for vulnerability, respectful disagreements, and mutual acceptance. If you find yourself avoiding talking about certain passions, opinions, or aspects of your life because you know they'll react negatively, that's a red flag. For example, if you love a certain type of music but never talk about it because you know they'll ridicule it, or if you're afraid to express your political views because it always creates conflict, you're not being true to yourself. The benefits of acknowledging this need to pretend are transformative for your authenticity and self-esteem. You start to value relationships where you can be completely yourself, and question those that demand constant performance. This helps you develop more confidence in your own personality and attract people who genuinely accept you. Plus, you stop wasting energy trying to be perfect for someone and can invest that energy into real personal growth and authentic relationships. Now that you know the 7 signs of a toxic friendship, it's important to remember that recognizing these patterns is just the first step. A true friendship should add to your life, not subtract from it. It should make you feel valued, respected, and accepted for who you truly are. If you've identified with several of these signs in a specific friendship, know that it's not your fault and that you have the right to prioritize your emotional well-being. Sometimes the best decision is to talk openly with the person about these behaviors, giving them a chance to change. Other times, the healthiest thing to do is to gradually distance yourself, saving your energy to invest in relationships that are truly worthwhile. Remember that you deserve friendships that inspire you to grow, celebrate your achievements, and are there for you in both the good and the bad times. Life is too precious to waste on people who don't value your presence. You have the power to choose who is part of your journey, so choose people who make you shine, not who dim your light. Now tell me in the comments, which of these signs caught your attention the most? And if this video helped you see a situation more clearly, share it with someone who also needs to hear this.